Tonight's story is about 3 people and a choice that set all of them on a narrow road. Jerry is the girl at the center. Jara is the boy who loved her first. Seva is the man she chose later, a brooding third person with a bottle always near his hand. The betrayal did not happen in one moment. It grew step by step, from school hallways to a university campus under the California sun. You will hear how it started, where it turned dark, and why it was so hard to stop. Spring 2012, Roosevelt High School, San Jose. The bell rang and the hallway burst open. Jerry walked with a clutch of notebooks against her chest. Her hair was tied in a loose ponytail, and she wore the blue hoodie the school track team sold as a fundraiser. Jara waited near the library doors, tall and easygoing, the kind of boy who carried too many pencils in his backpack because everyone asked him for one. "Late again," he said, smiling. "I got caught by Miss Carmichael. She thinks I should join the debate team," Jerry said. "You already run track, tutor freshman, and you somehow outrun me. Leave something for the rest of us." She bumped his arm with her shoulder. "You are fine. You are class representative." Jara looked pleased by that. "Come to the game Saturday. We play Lincoln. I will even pass the ball for you." "You say that every time," Jerry said. "Then come see it happen." This was how they were at 15. They did not say the word love yet. They walked home together. They split a mango soda from the store on Alum Rock Avenue. When the rain came down hard, they ran, and Jerry laughed in the wet light of the street as if the world would never be anything except big and clean. Autumn 2013. The year passed. Jerry's house smelled like cumin and detergent. Her mother worked early shifts, and her father picked up extra hours on the weekend. Jara's family lived 2 streets over and made too much food every time Jerry came by. It felt simple. "Senior year is going to be wild," Jara said one night in late August. They sat on the curb by the basketball court behind the cafeteria. The air smelled like cut grass. "Wild is not the word I would use for calculus," Jerry said. "Not that kind of wild. I mean senior sunrise, college applications, skipping one class when we can pretend to be rebels. Small things." Jerry smiled. "The kind of rebels who keep a spreadsheet." Jara leaned closer and their shoulders touched. "Promise me something." "What?" "Wherever you go next year, I want to be somewhere I can still see you. Maybe the same city, maybe the same campus if the universe and the admissions people agree." Jerry looked at the fading paint of the free throw line. "I want that too." At school, they were the couple who did not flaunt it. They held hands at the crosswalk and worked through homework at the kitchen table with quiet jokes between them. When Jara scored the winning basket at homecoming, he looked toward the bleachers but did not blow a kiss. Instead, he raised both hands as if catching the moment before it fell. Spring 2014. Graduation. They wrote essays. They worried about loans. They compared acceptance letters. On April 1st, Jerry opened the email that began with the word congratulations, and she sat down on the floor because her knees were shaking. UC Berkeley. Letters danced on the screen. She called Jara. He picked up on the first ring. "Tell me," he said. "Berkeley," she whispered. He did not speak for a second. Then he laughed, one short burst that sounded like relief. "Me too. Conditional offer, but yes. We did it." They told their parents. They promised the neighbors they would visit. They went to the senior sunrise and watched the sky turn pink from the top of the football bleachers. Jerry leaned her head on Jara's shoulder. He draped his jacket over both of them. He felt like home. August 2014, UC Berkeley Move-In Day College was a rush of hands and boxes and names. The campus looked like a postcard. Eucalyptus trees framed the paths, and the campanile clock cut the sky into measured pieces of time. Jerry and Jara moved into different dorms, New faces were everywhere. "Call me when you get lost," Jara said, balancing a desk lamp under his arm. "I do not get lost," Jerry replied, but the campus map folded badly in her hands, and she grinned. They met for dinner at the dining hall and talked about econ lectures and the professor who never looked up from his notes. The world felt massive and narrow at the same time. There were flyers for everything, from bioengineering clubs to poetry readings. Jerry joined a volunteer program that paired undergraduates with local high school students. She signed up for a research assistant spot in the sociology department. She worked part-time in the library to help with expenses. Her life became a grid of calendars. Jara took on a tutoring gig and intramural basketball. He made friends in his Intro to Statistics course, loud boys from Los Angeles who liked to stay up late and cut jokes about probability. Still, they kept their promise. They walked the same streets. On Sunday mornings, they bought coffee and sat by the glinting fountain near Doe Library, saying little. It did not feel like a test. It felt like a place they had chosen together. November 2014, first midterm sleep got scarce. The night before her final midterm, Jerry went to Moffett Library to review notes. She had a pencil tucked behind her ear. She read and reread an article on social capital. When the clock said 1 a.m., she stretched her legs and went downstairs to the vending machines. He was there by the dull rectangle of fluorescent light, a man with a sharp jaw, hair curling at the nape, the kind of face that looked older than the students who surrounded it. "You, the vending machine owes me a Sprite," he said, shaking the coin return lever. "It eats quarters that do not look like they came from this decade," Jerry said. He laughed at that. "You are probably right." She pointed at the slot. "Push and hold for a second, then kick the base, not too hard." He tried it. The bottle dropped with a rattling cheer. He turned to her like she had brought the sun down into the basement. "I am Seva," he said, offering a hand. "Jerry," she answered, taking it. His palm was warm. There was a faint smell that clung to him. Not strong, not citrus or cologne. Something sour-sweet that she recognized a second later and did not name. "Midterms?" he asked. "3 down. 1 to go." "Same," he said, and took a long sip from the cold bottle. "You saved a stranger." She gestured at the machine. "I only know bad machines. It is a talent." He smiled. "Maybe I will meet you again, and you can save me a second time." It sounded charming in the moment. She went back upstairs. The night walked on. She did not think about him again until a week later when she saw him outside the philosophy building, leaning against the railing, a green bottle cap flicked between his fingers. He raised 2 fingers in greeting. "You again," he said. "I do not save people twice," she replied. He grinned. "We will see about that." January 2015. The edges shift. Winter break came and went. Jerry went home for a week, watched movies with her parents, slept late, then returned early to take a January workshop. Jara was still out of town. The campus was thin with people. Jerry liked the quiet. She saw Seva again by the student union, sitting alone at a table with a paperback spread open and a plastic cup that was not coffee. "You are early," he said, as if they had planned the meeting. "I like the campus when it is empty," Jerry said. "Me too. You can hear your own feet." They sat together. He asked about her workshop. She asked about his major. "Philosophy," he said. "If you say what will you do with that, I will answer that I do not know yet. Maybe law, maybe teaching, maybe the same thing everyone does, which is pretending we are not improvising." "Fair," she said. "I am in sociology. I like the patterns. I like seeing how small choices add up." Seva took a slow drink. The smell was clear now. It was alcohol, thinly masked by lime. Jerry watched the way he handled the cup, careful, not sloppy. He looked at the world with a soft kind of defiance. "Does your boyfriend like that you fill your schedule until it squeaks?" Siva asked, and his eyes stayed kind. "How do you know I have a boyfriend?" she asked. "You wear his jacket sometimes," he said. "The one with the small tear on the cuff. The initials on the inside label. J.R." Jerry laughed, a little embarrassed. "You are observant." "Only when I am awake," he said. They talked for a while. She learned he grew up near Modesto. His father left when he was 9. His mother worked 2 jobs. He liked old movies and cheap music stores. When he laughed, it was quiet, like he did not want to wake anyone. "I should go," Jerry said after an hour. "I have readings to catch up on." "Go then," Siva said, but he looked at her as if he would keep her there if he asked the right question. He did not ask it. She stood and left. She did not tell Jara about Siva that night. There was no reason to. It felt like the kind of campus encounter everyone had. March 2015, the first lie. The semester grew crowded and fast. Jerry's research assistantship required hours cleaning data. Jara started training harder with his intramural team. They found new rhythms. Friday nights were movie nights. Sundays were for laundry and grocery runs. One Friday, Jerry texted at 6 p.m. "Running late. RA meeting moved. Start without me." Jara wrote back, "I will wait. I can watch the previews." The meeting did run late, but Jerry also lingered after it ended because she saw Siva on the steps of the library, a thin red scar on his knuckle and a paper bag near his feet. "You look like you lost a fight with a binder," she said. Siva lifted his hand. "Door frame. The door won." "Let me see," Jerry said. She took his fingers carefully and touched the swelling with light pressure. "You will live." "Then celebrate my survival," he said, nodding at the paper bag. "There is a bench over there with our names on it." Jerry almost said no. She could feel the small vibration of her phone. She knew it was Jara. The evening air was cold enough to keep a person honest. She looked at Siva and saw a gravity she did not have a word for yet. 10 minutes, she said. They sat. He pulled 2 small bottles from the bag. He opened one. The smell came up strong. "I do not drink," she said. "I know," he said. "I remember the vending machine. You are the kind of person who saves people from bad machines. I am the kind who keeps trying them anyway." "That is not a good thing," she said. He nodded. "No, but it is true." She watched him tilt back the bottle. She watched the way the liquid caught the remaining light. He relaxed by degrees. The conversation drifted. He asked about her favorite book. She asked about his mother. He told a story about stealing apricots from a neighbor's tree when he was 7, getting caught, and being given a bag to fill because the neighbor said, "If you will steal fruit, you must do it properly." He smiled strangely when he told it, as if it was a happy memory wrapped around a sad one. When she finally stood, it had been 40 minutes. She sent Jara a quick text. "Still at the lab. I am so sorry. Rain check?" He replied with a thumbs up and a heart. It looked harmless on the screen. Jerry put the phone away and felt a drop of guilt rise and slide down the inside of her ribs. April 2015, the paper and the party. Jerry wrote a paper on social networks and influence. She worked late at a group study table. Jara came by with snacks and kissed the top of her head. She leaned back into him and felt safe, like coming home after a long drive. "Celebrate after you turn it in," he said. "We can hit that midnight diner near Telegraph." "After," she said. "I promise." She turned in the paper. The class cheered half-heartedly at the end of the lecture. That Friday, there was a party in an off-campus apartment, a tangle of voices and music. Jara did not like parties. He came for an hour, stayed by the window, and left early for an intramural scrimmage. Jerry told him it was fine. She saw Siva across the room near the kitchen sink. He stood alone, then not alone, then alone again, moving in and out of groups as if they formed around him by accident. He saw her and raised his cup. "You made it," he said. "Briefly," she said. "Stay long enough to hear a confession," he said. "I do not like confessions," she said. "They make me feel like a priest." "Not that kind," he said. He leaned close so he did not have to shout. "I grew up thinking that love looks like hunger, hungry for approval, hungry for attention, hungry for a hand to hold. Then I came here and met people who look full all the time, and I do not know what to do with that." Jerry looked at the rim of his plastic cup. "You sound tired." "I am," he said. "Then you should go home." "I am home nowhere," he said. He smiled and shook it off. "Do not worry. I am only trying to be interesting." "You do not have to try," she said, and the words came out warm in a way she did not intend. He looked at her for a long second. "Dangerous thing to say." "Then forget I said it," she replied, but she knew he would not. May 2015, final exams and a doorway. The semester ended in a blur of sleep deprivation and highlighter marks. Jerry took her last exam on a bright morning. She walked outside into sunlight that felt like a clean sheet. She wanted to call Jara and tell him she believed in the future. Instead, she sat on a bench near the philosophy building because she saw Siva pacing. He held his phone like he had forgotten what it was for. "Bad news?" she asked. "My professor thinks I am brilliant on paper and absent in life," he said. "He is not wrong." "You can fix absent," she said. "Can I?" he said. "I am not good at showing up." "Practice," she said. He stopped pacing and looked at her the same way he had in the basement of the library months ago, as if she had flipped a hidden switch. "You make things sound like they can be done." "Most things can be done," she said. He stepped closer. "Do you know the first moment I wanted to kiss you?" Siva asked. "It was when you kicked the vending machine for me. I thought, here is someone who will not let a small thing beat her." "Do not say that," Jerry said. "I am saying it," he replied. "I am not asking for permission. I am telling the truth for once." She opened her mouth to answer and found no good word to put there. He was close enough that she could see the thin line of stubble on his chin. She could smell the faint trace of something he had had that morning. "Not much." "Enough." "I have a boyfriend," she said finally. "I know," he said. "That is why this is a confession and not a request." He leaned back. He laughed softly at himself. "You see, I can tell the truth, at least sometimes." Jerry stood and left. She did not tell Jara about the conversation. She told herself there was nothing to tell. September 2015, sophomore fall. They moved off campus into small apartments with thin walls and loud radiators. Jerry's roommates were neat and quiet. Jara's apartment was a mix of sneakers by the door and tournament brackets taped to the fridge. "Dinner Thursday," Jara said. "I am making pasta." "You will make me eat too much," Jerry said. "That is my love language," he replied. They met at his place. He cooked and waved smoke out the window with a kitchen towel. They ate at the small table with the wobbly leg. "Tell me one secret hope," Jara said. "We have not played this game in a while." Jerry thought. "I want to apply for the honors track in sociology next year. Independent research. Maybe on first-gen college students and how they build support networks." "Of course you will do that," Jara said. "You do not know how to aim low." She smiled. "Your turn." "I want us to take a road trip next summer. Lose our voices to terrible songs on the radio. Come back with a dent in the car that we both pretend we do not see." "That is a good hope," Jerry said. They cleared the plates. They stood washing dishes hip to hip. It felt like the life they would build if the world stayed still. 2 weeks later, Jerry passed Siva outside a small bar near Shattuck. The door was propped open and the music leaked onto the sidewalk. Siva leaned on the wall in the evening light. "Come in for 1 minute," he said. "I am meeting a friend," Jerry said. "1 minute," he repeated, and his eyes were tired but bright. She stepped inside. It was not crowded. He ordered something dark. She ordered soda water. He lifted his glass. "To small victories," he said. "What is the victory?" she asked. "I have kept a promise for 3 days," he said. "It is personal. I will keep it for 4. "Then to 4, she said, tapping her straw against his glass. They talked about nothing. She checked the time and stood to leave. He reached out and touched her wrist, not hard, a question that could be mistaken for a reflex. She did not pull away as fast as she could have. Then she did. She left with her heart beating in an odd rhythm that did not feel like fear. It felt like running downhill, faster than your feet can manage, thrilling and wrong. October 2015, the first kiss asterisk. Rain came early that year. Jerry walked across campus under a small umbrella. She saw Siva by the edge of the library steps, hair damp, jacket unzipped. He smiled as if he had been caught doing something good. "I did it," he said. 2 weeks. 2 weeks what? She asked, though she knew. "Clear," he said. "No drinks." "Good," she said, feeling an unearned pride. "I will not pretend I did it alone," he said. "I have a list in my pocket that says call your mother, go for a run, drink water, text a friend, read 3 pages, do push-ups, make tea, breathe, tell the vending machine girl that you are still trying." "Do not call me that," Jerry said, laughing. "Then tell me your real name again," he said, teasing. "Jerry," she said. He stepped closer under the edge of the umbrella. The rain hissed around them on the stone steps. He reached out and took the umbrella handle lightly, careful not to take it away from her. "Sometimes I think you invented me," he said, very quiet. "The me who shows up. The me who is not only the worst day he had." "That is not true," she said. "You did that. You are doing it." He had not touched her except for the umbrella handle, and yet everything in his face looked like a touch. She felt the moment tilt. She knew what it was. It had a shape. "Seva," she said, and that was all. He kissed her. It was quick and soft, a line drawn too fast to be neat. The umbrella tilted and rain hit the side of her face. She stepped back and looked at him as if seeing a stranger. "I am sorry," he said, voice rough. "I have to go," she said. She walked away almost running. She did not tell Jara. She told herself that she would. She told herself that it was a mistake she would not repeat. She did not sleep well for days. November 2015. The lie becomes heavy. Jara noticed she was tired. He asked if she wanted to skip the weekend game. She said yes and meant it. He brought her a coffee and an oatmeal cookie during a study session and kissed her forehead. She smiled and felt her chest tighten. "Are you happy?" Jara asked that night as they stood on the balcony of her apartment and watched a line of taillights curve along the street below. "Yes," she said. "I am tired and I am happy." He nodded. He did not know that she had kept the word and changed the order. She was happy and she was tired. She was tired because she was happy and afraid of what that happiness meant. Seva texted her rarely and never late. He understood that much. When he wrote, he kept it short. Reading Kierkegaard. He also does not know what to do with himself. Ran 2 miles. No applause, but I imagined you clapping anyway. There is a moon. It is showing off. She replied sometimes and sometimes not. She tried to build a wall with silence. He found the gaps. February 2016, the Fault Line third semester. Jerry's honors application was due in April. Jara started looking at internships. He talked about summer in San Diego, a tech company, a small stipend, a chance to save money and show his family he was on track. "I will visit on weekends if I get it," he said. "Or you will come down once and we will do the beach like tourists." "I would like that," she said. She meant it. She wanted the beach and a day where the only trouble was a sunburn. Siva had a bad week. He wrote, "I messed up. I am sorry. Do not reply. I will see you when I am me again." She did not reply. 2 days later, he found her near the sociology building. He looked like he had not slept. "I am not going to apologize in the way people do," he said. "Not for existing in your orbit. That is silly. But I will say I did not show up like I wanted to. I will fix it." "It is not my job to fix you," Jerry said. "It is not," he agreed. "Just do not pretend you do not see me at all. That would be worse." She looked at him and thought about all the ways people disappear. She thought about how easy it is to take a person out of a story by skipping their name. She nodded once and left. April 2016, the night everything changed. The honors committee posted decisions at noon on a Thursday. Jerry opened her email under a tree and read the first line 3 times. Accepted. Topic approved. A professor she admired would supervise. She called Jara. "I got it," she said. "I knew you would." He said, "Dinner tonight. My treat." She floated all afternoon. She wrote her parents. She told her roommates. She went to the library to return a book and saw Siva sitting on the floor by the stacks, back against the wall, knees up, head down. A paper lay face up beside him. A grade in a red circle. Not good. "Are you all right?" she asked. He looked up. His eyes were too bright. "I am the opposite." "Come on," she said. "You need air." They walked outside. The campus had that late spring shine that feels like a promise. They stood near the steps. He took a breath that sounded like it scraped his throat. "Say something good," Siva said. "I got into the honors program," Jerry said, unable to hide her joy. He smiled, and it was genuine. "Of course you did. See? Proof that the universe can still count." "Seva," she said, hearing her own voice turn soft in a way that frightened her. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small bottle. He looked at it and then looked at her. He held it like a question. "Do not," she said. He put it back in his pocket. "I will not. Not now." They stood too close. She could hear her pulse in her ears. She could smell him, not the drink, but soap and rain and something nervous. "Do you ever feel like there are 2 lives?" Siva asked. "The life you promised and the life you are living?" "Yes," she said. The word came out quiet and true. He stepped forward and kissed her again. This time it was not a line. It was a door pushed open. She did not stop him. She did not think of the dinner she had with Jara later that night. She did not think of anything except the warmth of his mouth and the way her own hands had risen to his shoulders without permission. A car honked on the street. The sound shocked her. She pulled back. She looked at Siva as if she had been caught stealing, which in a way she had. "I have to go," she said. "I really have to go." He nodded once, jaw tight. "Go. Celebrate. You should." She ran to the bus stop and rode in silence. She arrived at the small restaurant where Jara was waiting with a reservation and a smile. He stood and hugged her. He did not let go for an extra second, as if anchoring something. "You are glowing," he said. "Because of you," she answered, and hated herself for how quick the lie came. They ordered. Jara told a story about a professor who wrote a proof on the whiteboard that no one could follow and then erased it with his sleeve. Jerry laughed at the right times. She was kind. She was present. She was also somewhere else, replaying a kiss in the spring light and hating that it felt like oxygen. When they walked outside, Jara laced their fingers together. "I love you," he said. It was not the first time. It hit her like it was. "I love you too," Jerry said. She felt the sentence twist and split inside her. May 2016, the line-crossed finals came again. Jara studied late in his apartment. Jerry spent long hours in the library. She met Siva twice in 2 weeks. This time, she did not pretend they were accidental meetings. She told no one where she went. They walked to a small park past midnight and sat on a swing set like kids who did not realize the world had rules. "Do you think we are bad?" Siva asked, voice soft. "I think we are making a mistake in slow motion," Jerry said. "Then we should stop," he said, but he did not move away. "We should," she said, but she did not either. They kissed. They kissed the way people do when they are trying to learn a language by speaking it too fast. She felt a pain that was not physical, a pressure under the ribs. She thought of Jara brushing his teeth and humming off-key. She thought of Siva holding a bottle he did not open and the weight of that effort. Her eyes stung. She kept going. At 2 a.m, she walked home alone and washed her face at the sink until her skin felt raw. She looked at herself in the mirror and said aloud, "You are not the hero of this story." It sounded like a verdict. June 2016. Summer begins *. Jara got the San Diego internship. He left on a warm Saturday with a duffel bag and a bag of snacks Jerry packed for him. They kissed at the bus station and promised to call every night. He waved from the window. Jerry waved back. The bus pulled away and took her simplest life with it. Siva stayed in Berkeley for summer classes. Jerry stayed for her research and her job. The campus emptied. Days slowed down, evenings stretched. They started meeting in places that felt safe and wrong at once. A late cafe, a quiet lawn in the dark, his small room with a desk and a mattress on the floor. She told herself she would keep a line. She would not cross it again. She crossed it anyway. "We are not good people," Jerry said once after, with her head on his shoulder. "We are people," Siva said. "Sometimes that is worse." "You drink less when I am around," she said. He laughed into her hair. "That cannot be the reason to keep me." "It is not," she said, and hated that for a moment. It was not a lie. July 2016. The call. The call came on a Wednesday night at 11. Jara sounded tired and happy. "I finished the project prototype," he said. "They might extend my internship for the fall. Not sure yet. Do you think you could handle long distance for a semester if that happened?" Jerry closed her eyes. The room was dark except for the light from the street. "Of course," she said. "I miss you," Jara said. "I want to tell you about a gull that kept eyeing my chips on the pier and how the water looks like it wants to tell a secret and then never does." "Tell me everything," she said, voice steady. He did. She listened and learned every detail. She held the phone with both hands. After she hung up, she sat very still and then she cried without sound. Siva texted not long after. "Come over," he wrote. She did. August 2016, the return summer ended. Jara returned with a tan and a new confidence. He wrapped Jerry up in a hug on the sidewalk outside her apartment. "Long distance for a whole semester would have been brutal," he said. "They did not extend me. Honestly, I am relieved." "Me too," Jerry said. She meant it so much it scared her. They went grocery shopping and laughed at how expensive raspberries were. They cleaned the small kitchen. They tried to restart the version of themselves that worked. For a week, it almost felt natural again. The betrayal became a shadow that followed her into every room. Siva saw her by chance outside a campus bookstore. He looked worse. He had tried and failed to stop again. She could tell without asking. "Leave me alone for a while," Jerry said before he could speak. "Please." He nodded. He did not argue. He looked like a man looking at a closed door and trying to pretend he had not built the hinges himself. September 2016. A confession deferred. The new semester started. Jerry threw herself into her honors work. Jara watched a late-night game on mute and did not press her for details when she came home tired. She felt both grateful and undeserving. One night she took a walk alone and came back ready to tell him everything. She rehearsed the sentences in the stairwell. She opened the door to find Jara asleep at the table with a textbook open under his hand. A half-written problem set curled at the edges. He looked young and worn and kind. She stood in the doorway and could not make her mouth form the words. She put a blanket over his shoulders instead. In the morning, he woke and smiled. "You are my favorite person," he said simply, "even when we do not see each other enough." Jerry said nothing. She felt like a thief allowed to keep the things she stole if she promised not to tell anyone. November 2016. The fall Siva disappeared for a week, then 2. Jerry heard he had missed an exam. She tried not to think about it. She tried to become the person who only cared in a general way about classmates and acquaintances. It did not work. She saw him finally on a bench across from the campanile, shoulders hunched, hands jammed into his jacket pockets. She walked over because she could not help it. "Are you all right?" she asked. "I am empty," he said, voice flat. "It is not drama. It is fact." "You should call someone," she said. "A counselor. Your mother." "I called my mother," he said. "She said to drink water and to call my aunt and to pray. I did one of those 3. "Which one?" "Water," he said. He looked at her with a mix of need and apology. "Say something to keep me standing." "I cannot keep you standing," Jerry said. "You have to do that yourself." "I know," he whispered. "Stay for 10 minutes anyway." She sat. 10 minutes turned into an hour. He did not touch her. She did not touch him. That night she told Jara she had fallen asleep at the library. The lie felt heavier than before. December 2016, winter break again. They went home for a week. Jerry helped her mother make biryani. She listened to her father tell a story about a cousin who had bought a used truck and regretted it. She felt almost calm. Jara came by with a bag of oranges and a plan for a New Year's hike. They walked the trail at Alum Rock Park and took a photo that made them look like the couple they had been. Jerry saved it and did not look at it again for a month. March 2017, Sparks and Ash. The campus was covered in flyers for spring events. Jerry presented her first small research update in front of a handful of students. Jara came and sat in the front row and clapped like she had just won an award. She squeezed his hand after. "Thank you," she said. "I like watching you do what you are for," he said, still clapping softly. Siva was not there. She found out later he had been in a clinic for 10 days. When he came back, he looked thinner, sharper around the edges, but there was light in his voice that had not been there all winter. "I am trying again," he said, when she ran into him by the bike racks. "I know. You have heard this before." "You have," she said. "Tried. That counts. Do not be kind to me," he said. "It will undo me." "I am trying to be kind to myself," she said, and for once it was true. They parted without touching. Jerry felt a small relief that felt like an early spring. May 2017, junior year ending. Jara talked about another internship, this time in the Bay Area. They could see each other more. Jerry mapped out the next steps for her honors thesis and booked time with her advisor. One evening, they walked past a quiet bar. Siva stood outside leaning on the railing, a glass of water in his hand. He saw them and straightened. "Hey," he said, addressing both of them. "Jara, right." Jara nodded, friendly by instinct. "Yeah, Seva. You are in Jerry's philosophy class sometimes." "Something like that," Seva said, and looked at Jerry once, quick, like a man glancing at the sun. "Good to see you," Jara said. "We are running to catch the last bit of light in the park." "Catch it," Seva said, and this time he did not ask for anything. They left. Jerry felt her lungs fill with air as if she had been underwater all year and had just reached the surface. Jara laced his fingers through hers and swung their hands once. It was so easy to be good when the person you are cheating on smiles at your secret with a clean heart. July 2017. A promise on paper. Jerry wrote the first 30 pages of her honors thesis over the summer. She worked at the library. Jara coded and came home with eyes that were both tired and satisfied. They cooked together. They ate on the floor. They made fun of a reality show and swore never to tell anyone they watched it. Jerry thought she could carve out a simpler story again if she kept going like this. She stopped reaching out to Seva completely. She changed her route to avoid his haunts. She practiced being absent. One night, too late for good decisions, Seva texted, "I will not drink tonight if you answer." Jerry stared at the message. She put the phone face down. She did not answer. The next morning, he wrote nothing. 2 days later, she heard he had relapsed and ended up sleeping behind the student union until a friend hauled him home. She felt a hollowness she could not confess to anyone. She walked to the basketball court behind the cafeteria at the old high school when she went home one weekend and stood by the faded free throw line and remembered 15. She tried to borrow the courage of that girl. She came back to Berkeley and kept writing. September 2017, senior year begins. This is where part 1 stops, right on the edge. Jerry is 20 now. Jara is 20. They are both on track to graduate from the University of California in May 2018, if they do not stumble. Siva is a year behind on paper and an ocean behind in his head, but he is still on the same map. The betrayal exists, and it is no longer a secret kept only by the night. It has a history. It has a set of choices that can still be redirected or can be allowed to harden into a path. Before we go to part 2, here is what you should know. Jerry is not a villain. She is also not a hero. She is a person who fell in love with a second person while still in love with the first. She did not plan it. She did not resist enough. She thought she could manage the shape of it with careful lies. Jara is kind and ordinary in the best way. He believes that love is made in small kitchens and in late-night rides and in finding the other person's charger at the bottom of a bag. He has not yet understood what is happening, not because he is foolish, but because people trust what they have built. Seva is a drinker, and he knows it. He is also more than that. He is trying to build a spine out of promises. He has drawn Jerry into his gravity with a look that says, both save me and do not try. Thanks for watching. Next part upload next time.